Let's see if it's good. It's a long time coming, man. And I'm about to come. Hey, yo. Come on. I want to hear something good. Come on. I want to hear something good. Come on. I want to hear something. Yeah, let me just get off for a little bit. So I had to use manual to get everything back in order. I will say the last video ended at a funny point with me like bringing up like my foot fetish with that like one model that had her toes out. But that's no biggie. It cut off before I mentioned the graffitis, but at that point I dropped so many frames that even the audio issues weren't the problem anymore. It was the fact that I was dealing with insane frame drops. Like I don't know what was causing that, but it wasn't good. Turns out the solution was that I had to figure out which audio input went where and kind of manually insert it for this device and this application. I don't even consider this a PC game really. This is a PS2 game. And I'm playing it with a PC that's being modified through middle software to play a PS2 game. DirectX, basically. That honestly makes it sound cooler, which is why I'm framing it that way. It's not like a diss. But I'll just reiterate everything I mentioned before in the previous stream, or the previous take on it. Saturday I went skating, roller skating and stuff like that. It was my first time doing it. I thought we were gonna go ice skating, but we didn't. You know, I have experience with ice skating, so I know how to do it. Roller skating is a different beast, so I could retain my knowledge of ice skating because you just build up so much motion. Eventually it just becomes natural to you, but in the case of something like, I guess, Chamber of Commerce. In the case of something like roller skating, it's different. You gotta use your knees differently, you gotta use your joints differently, shift the weight of your body differently. You know, there was that light-skinned girl who was tripping everybody up. She almost tripped my ass up because she would just run circles around you and then make eye contact, which kind of like messes with your ass. Light-skinned girl, 14, like big puffy afro, green eyes. So Garcia. Okay, so that's for like auto lean. Let's see. Gelsba, Paulbro, Joe, next page. How much cash do I have after doing all that? Probably not much, but I could sell something. I was given selling fodder. Okay, so... Alt tab. Let me go to walkthrough. Okay, let's see. What do I got to do here? Fast stock, free. But you know, eventually I got it done. I was able to fix my shoe because the shoes that they had there were kind of busted up. They were decades old, just like everything in that height sphere. Although that was Harlem, really. I was in Harlem. It's a good place though, man. Fun to be around. The restaurant we attended sucks, and worst part is that I had to install a scanner thing, like a QR code scanner, just to access the menu URL, and they don't even give the password to their Wi-Fi for free, so maybe you had to ask, but that meant that you had to have like a 4G LTE, 5G in order to get that shit done. Not very good. Until letter to the ambassador. Key items. Okay, so I got the letter to the ambassador. Alt tab. That's the best. In Rulu Gardens. Yeah. I've been meaning to like find out where the hell Rulu Gardens is. Alt tab. Joanna. Okay, so Rulu Gardens, I have to... Okay, it's in Upper Soon. So I guess I should give you guys some tips if you want to ice skate at, because there is stuff online that'll probably teach you even better. Because my mom's regained her muscle memory and was like doing multiple laps. She was doing 2.5 laps for every 1 lap I took when I was getting the hang of it. But me personally, what worked for me is delegating something to each foot. Right foot you want to use when you need it to turn, and turning gives you speed, or takes away speed. And your left foot, really it's the mover. Right foot is more of the stabilizer. When it goes from a stabilizer to a mover, that's when you pick up speed. But generally you want to use the left, keep the left foot moving. Okay. For skiing, it was different because ice skating, you got to keep your momentum forward. That's what keeps you from slipping. If you lean back and shit like that, you're just gonna get fucked up. But that's not necessarily the case with roller skating because the momentum is a little different. You're rolling and not sliding. And you got the thing in front if you need to like stop. But yeah, that restaurant we went to was bad because for the dip, it was like a cheesy artichoke dip, which it was too cheesy, too oily, and just didn't really come across as a tasty thing. And the toast that they had as like dipping thing was really just a gigantic crouton, big thick crouton that didn't really like spread on the thing well. So maybe you were supposed to use the knife to act as a spreader, but even then, because they're just giant croutons, you're just eating the crouton with a little cheesy thing on top. The artichoke was like barely there. It wasn't doing the type of thing you want like a veggie dip to do, like a spinach dip, an artichoke dip. You want that veggie aspect because it's handy and dandy. Let me interact with this crystal if I ever want to get back here again. Okay. Actually, let me check if I can warp to Bastok. Travel to another home point. Bastok. So I have 500 gil, so that's good for one teleport. Although I have the warp ring, so I don't really need to do all that crazy shit, really. So, Embassy of Sandoria, Embassy of Beth. I see. What else? Yeah, I also mentioned I didn't really like the last two Berserk chapters that dropped recently. People always bitch about how Boruto and Dragon Ball Super should be weekly mangas because that's how the pacing feels, but Berserk's pacing is worse. That shit felt like both of them combined feel like a quarter of a weekly manga. And of course, I like Koji